4, running for office for Congressional District 4. Cory, good to have you.
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Great. Thank you very much for being here today. More importantly, thank you for the service that you have given to this country, the sacrifices that you have made. My name is Cory Gardner, and I'm running for Congress in Colorado's 4th Congressional District. For those of you who don't know where the 4th Congressional District is, it's on the eastern plains of Colorado. It borders New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming. It's 32,000 square miles of geography on the eastern plains and in northern Colorado. I currently serve in the state legislature, representing a big chunk of that district. I live in a little town called Yuma, Colorado. And if you don't know where Yuma is, it's in between Otis and Egley on the eastern plains. You know, I had the great privilege and honor of accompanying my grandfather to the opening of the World War II Memorial several years ago in Washington, D.C. And it was a time where he was pretty emotional, worked up for the day, and if you had the honor of being there as well, you remember the tents that they had set up on the mall where you could go and meet with people who you served with, and they were leaving messages on the boards at each of those tents. And it was sort of like a version of Facebook that my granddad could use and connect with his fellow patriots. And somebody from the Smithsonian Institute walked up to him and said, "Are you ready to tell your story?" I'd never heard my granddad say anything more than that he was a private in the Army and that he served in France. Never heard him say anything more than that. Talked a little bit about where they played a football game once in a while, and he happened to run into somebody from his hometown. But that was it. And for the first time in my life, I heard him, to a video recorder from the Smithsonian Institute, tell his story. But it wasn't just his story, it was the story of every man and woman who served in World War II, who served in Korea and Vietnam, who served in every conflict this country has had, who has served to defend this nation's borders. It was a story of someone who has worked hard for their country, for their family, to create opportunity. People ask me why I'm running for the United States Congress, and I simply say, because I will not let this country become a country riddled with debt, broken with regulations, run rampant by a Congress that is out of control. But I will stand up for the freedoms and liberties that you fought for, that you defended, to make sure that our obligation, our promise to you, is that we will never give up a country that you created. Thank you for your service. Our campaign is focused on getting this economy back on track, on creating jobs, on creating opportunity for future families that will be moving to the state of Colorado. Future families will be brought up in the 4th Congressional District. To cut spending, to make sure that we're leaving more money in your pockets, to get government out of the way, so that we can get this country back to work. I'm running because I believe this country's better days are still ahead of us. That with real solutions and real opportunities, we can actually restore the greatness of this nation. Pass that on to every generation to follow. For veterans, as a rural Coloradan, I would like to make sure that we're providing health care opportunities for members of the military service who live in rural Colorado, maybe hundreds of miles away from the nearest VA facility, to make sure that working within the VA system, that they can receive services in rural hospitals. To make sure that we continue to communicate with members of military organizations, the UVC, veterans throughout the 4th Congressional District in Colorado. We've assembled a great team of 40 veterans who are our eyes and ears on the ground to talk to us about their concerns and what we need to do to make sure that we are living up to every promise that we have made to the veterans of this great state and this great country. We have an opportunity to make sure that we are living up to those obligations. And a minute left. I want to introduce Peter Findell, who was with my campaign. He's a Marine. He is heading up our Marine Coalition. And to make sure that we continue conversations like this, not just during an election year, but every day that we serve in the United States Congress. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I would be honored to earn your support, and thank you so much for allowing me to speak.